Hello students, welcome to this virtual session on heredity and evolution, class 10, chapter 9, and this is the first part of the chapter. So dear students, have you ever wondered why an apple tree only gives rise to another apple tree? Why not we get banana or a mango tree from it? Students, why does a cat gives birth to only a kitten? Why do humans give birth only to the humans? You may say that it is all natural. Yes, okay, you may be right. But my question is, if a human gives birth to another human, then why are those two are not exactly the same? Why do we find each individual a unique individual? What makes the kid strikingly different from his or her parents? Well, there are endless questions that pop up in our minds, and how do we find answers to them? The only way or the only study where we find these answers is the branch of the biology, that is genetics, that comes into play. In this lesson and in the upcoming ones, let's try to answer all the questions that pop up in our minds. To begin with, let's define genetics. Genetics is a branch of biology that deals with the study of heredity and genetic variation. So, in this definition, there are two keywords I have shown you with different colors. The first one is heredity and the other one is genetic variation. Now, in this session, we are going to understand the meaning of these two words, that is heredity and variation. The genetics, I am repeating, genetics is a branch of biology that deals with the study of heredity and variation. Okay, so let's now understand what heredity is. Now, this is a slide where I have shown you three families, and in these three families, if you observe carefully, you will find the children of these parents, these are parents, the kids of these parents, they resemble in few features with their parents. I mean, they have few features like their dad and few features like their mom. Why? You also, the children who are watching this video, you also look like your mom or dad. Why? This is because you have got these similar features from each of your parents. So this passing of characters from parents to their offsprings or from one generation to another is called heredity. What I am saying? The passing of characters or the transmission of characters from one generation to another. Character, I am using the word character. In some books, you might be reading that it is written that passing of traits, traits, passing of traits from one generation to another is called heredity. Now, what do we exactly mean What do we exactly mean by traits or characters? For example, in this first family, you look, see the boy, this boy has blonde hair, and the color of the hair matches with his mother, and this child has black hair like his father. Okay, so here the color of hair is a character, whereas the type of the color, that is blonde and black, is a trait. Here see the color of the eye. Color of the eye is a character, whereas what color is the color of the eye is black, or the color of the eye is green, or the color of the eye is blue. This color, specific color, is a trait. Okay, see in this family, the mother and the child has curly hair. Now, the what is curliness? Curliness is the texture of the hair. So, hair texture is a character, whereas the type of texture, whether the child or the mother is having straight or curly hair, these are traits. Another example is height. Height is a character, whereas the type of height, tall or short, is a trait. So I hope the meaning of trait or the difference between trait and character is clear to you. Okay. Okay. So whatever we have studied in the previous slides, I am just summarizing them in this slide. A recognizable feature of human being like height, complexion, shape of the nose, chin, color of the eye, hair, etc. are called character or traits. And the transmission of traits from parents to the offspring is called heredity. You can use the word inheritance also instead of transmission. So you will say inheritance of characters or traits from one generation to another is called heredity. And this heredity information, the genetic information, is, please note down that this genetic information or this hereditary information is present in the gametes. What are gametes? Gametes are the sex cells. For example, in human beings, in human male, the gamete is sperm. In human female, the gamete is ovum, the sex cells. And this means that gametes constitute the link between one generation to the next and pass on the maternal and paternal characters. Maternal means from mother's side, paternal means from father's side. So these characters or traits to the offsprings. Okay, I hope by this you are now clear with the concept of heredity, with the concept of character and trait. Now, another thing, another question. If the child has inherited the traits from his parents, then why he is not the exact copy of either of the parents? I hope you understood the question. Why, I mean to say, why does a child look slightly or totally different from the both? The answer lies in a single term called variation. It means the differences that make one organism different from the other. Like these children shown here in these three families, they have inherited few traits from their father and few from their mother. And, and they are different from both. They have many variations in them. I mean, they have many differences in them if we compare them with their parents. Okay, so variations are the differences in the characters among the individuals of the species, and offspring is never a true copy of the parent. There are many kinds of variations in human species, like free and attached earlobes, different complexion. You may find people with fair complexion, dark complexion, light brown, dusky, wheatish complexion, color of the eye, hazel eye color, blue eyes. So, like this, uh, height we have discussed. Chin may be cleft or pointed. Then snub nose, thin nose, pointed nose. So all these are the variations which we find in the human beings. Okay, and uh, the significance of the variation shows up only if the variation continues to be inherited by the offsprings for several generations. I mean to say that accumulation of variations in several generations, then only they express them in one of the generation. And the greatest advantage of these variations in the species is that they increase the chances of the survival of that species in the changing environment. So, variations are good, variations are very essential. Okay, so we have just discussed that genetics is a branch of biology that deals with the study of heredity and variation, and these are the basics of genetics which is known to us now. But have you ever wondered who laid the foundations of this interesting subject? Yes, the legendary figure who is now known as father of genetics is Gregor Johann Mendel. He performed various experiments on garden pea and led him to this path. And we are going to study in our upcoming videos about the Mendel's experiment and the conclusion he gave. But in the next video, we will be first discussing about the terminology which you should know before studying the Mendel's experiment. So stay tuned for the next video. See you, and have a nice day. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe and stay at home. Thank you.